Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of City Skylines. In the previous episode we continued on our Canal district, we figured out the water more or less. We're still trying to get rid of the pollution, so that might be something we swap around. If it doesn't work, I'm actually not gonna switch to water outlets, I decided to fill it up with the extra landscaping mod instead. Anyways, currently our city is running very well. There's lots and lots we still have to do in this district. This is really just getting started here. We have lots and lots of people and tourists incoming actually. Well, 197 a week. The numbers are always a little bit disappointing because of course one day goes so quickly in this game. So a week is like nothing. What is our traffic doing? 79%, so that's not our concern right now. Let's once again have a look at the pollution level. The thing is, the pollution at the moment is so subtle that I cannot tell if these guys did any work at all. I guess you're probably right, and it's never gonna completely disappear. I mean, even here we have just this tiny bit of corruption left. I like to call it corruption recently. I don't know why. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of this and actually do the details, make sure that everything looks nice, that we have enough pathways, some symmetry going on, I want to first keep zoning and expanding it. We already have 12,000 people living in this area. This is actually pretty darn good. Let me check the upgrade levels. Yeah, I mean, there is still so much potential. This is almost crazy. Now, what? Ah, yeah, you're sick. You know what? You make me sick, you little bastards. That means as long as we have residential demand, I think I'm just gonna plot down more residential stuff. Let's actually go over this with a broad brush. All of you can start building, please. That would be absolutely amazing. Some of the buildings I'm gonna destroy again because I'm gonna set up more pathways like this one. I want people to be able to traverse as conveniently as possible. You would also see a lot of pedestrian bridges in cities like Venice or Amsterdam, so not really intended for the cars. But then again, City Skylines doesn't really focus on building styles like in Venice, where you would rarely see these tall and aligned buildings. So we're not shooting for a Venice or Amsterdam replica, I just needed to look at it when we first started building, so I don't do anything crazy like a grid. Since we want to be careful with the industry in the near future, I don't want to build too much anymore. We need to get our traffic under control first. We're still gonna need industrial type jobs, so offices it's gonna be. This part here I want to leave free for some decorations, and do I see that right? Yeah, people are actually in the stadium playing a game right now. Anyway, we're gonna need more shopping, and this is gonna happen right here. Now, you wanted me to build the Eden project. Let me actually quickly find that. I want to know what it does. There it is, and we need to construct a business park for that to work. So back into parks we go, and find the business park. Couldn't find the freaking business park. That actually reminds me, yeah, we need to do a lot about parks and plazas in this place as well, but doesn't feel like we're in a hurry. In terms of parking, we seem to be doing fine with the stadium. That's one thing I wondered in the university district. Let me orient this differently again so we know what we're talking about. Okay, where were we? My son was thirsty. I was checking the parking slots. Wow, I'm actually really surprised about that. Here we have the aquatic center, another stadium, and they don't lack parking spots. That's insane to me. But I guess that's how it goes. Now we are having some death problems somewhere. Let me actually find where that is. Somewhere people are dying and they're not being collected. Actually, never mind. They seem to be spread all over the place. Usually when there's an accumulation, there is one specific region. Maybe the hearses weren't able to get there due to a traffic situation. Now there was another thing we needed to think about, and those are the ferries. We might want to set up ferry lines, and for that of course we are gonna need ferry stops, which is less advantageous. Because they do take up a substantial amount of space and they also produce noise pollution, right? Actually, a lot of noise pollution. Oh, so that is not really something I'm looking forward to deal with, to be honest with you. Could we even add a ferry line that makes sense, that is not just for shits and giggles and looks? I mean, if we just do one for looks, we can have one here at the end and then on the other end of the district and just let the ferries kind of go through the district. But the noise pollution is a slight issue in my eyes. Come on guys, give me some development please. So, by the way, one more thing we haven't done yet is actually hook it up to the highway. And I thought we might want to do this at this place. So if we continue the highway, make a proper intersection, that's why I left some space free here. And we're going to continue the highway across the canal and the river. and then maybe somewhere at this point we will be able to enter the Canal district. I think that is probably a solid plan. As we wait for some more district development, I'm actually going to adjust these tracks now. I want them to be aligned more or less perfectly together. So bring this all the way to the border, and then the two pillars should more or less touch each other. So that is probably gonna keep me occupied for a couple of minutes. Ooh, okay, looks like sometimes we are dealing with different heights, which is not something I really appreciate. Okay, I think I'm through. I mean, it does look much better. This is the only thing I still have to fix. But yeah, you can see clearly it makes a ton of a difference, so let me fix this last part here. This shouldn't be too hard, I just want to make sure that both of these guys have the same amount of pillars so that I can make the curve as parallel as possible. Something like that, maybe. I guess for now, this is good enough. I like that. I want to unpause the game again. Lots and lots of development is important today. Okay, so far so good. Don't be fooled by all the abandonment and the icons. I will get that under control. This is not the most important part. I had to add an additional bridge here though. We had a little bit of issues with the garbage collection and I needed a better entrance right here. So this is all things we're gonna discover over time, but I would say it is time to continue building. I need a tiny bit more shopping, though at the moment we are importing goods again. Whenever I start building shopping and they are upgrading, we are experiencing a wave of imports. However, as we wait for stuff to develop, it is gradually going down again. So I think what we can do now is continue here a little bit. This is also a little shopping area. And then I also wanted a couple of additional offices. And by the way, I realized we do not currently have enough university spots. Maybe one thing we could do to improve this is advance Neptuni. I mean, what's the problem with you? What do you need? You need 40 more people and a couple of academic works. I already gave them a grant, so this should happen at some point. I mean, at least we're earning a little bit of money, but I don't understand why these places don't get filled up. I could just build a normal university, but I do want more students on our campuses. What about Triggered Heights? You have 1,300 people, and then there is the third university, Education Grind, which has 2,000 people, so a lot of people like to go there. Maybe the public transport is just better. I mean, it is also very centralized, so what you gonna do? Okay, looking through this a little bit, most people do need education in order to upgrade, so I'm really tempted to actually place a real university here, just the standard building. Because technically we have more than enough space on our campuses, it just doesn't work out. Maybe I could get this guy right here. This might actually make for a really good look. So we're gonna kill off this road. Wait, there was a sweet spot. Yes, nice. We can actually get... Was this the university? Yes, okay. So hopefully that is at least gonna change something. Most of my commercial district is currently suffering with no goods to sell, and we can see we generally have a problem with that because we are importing a lot of goods. And I tell you, if we just wait long enough and, you know, destroy a couple of abandoned building waves, eventually this is gonna even out and get much better. Well, right now my suggestion is to actually start building the highway. We can do this. Wait, oh no! Something went wrong at the train station. Okay, there we go, we have movement again. I had to delete a couple of trains that weren't aligning themselves properly. I mean, it is my mistake, of course. The problem is sometimes if you give them too much space, I mean, like this is perfect. They always stop right here and all the trains can continue going, even if there's one halting there. But if you make this a little longer, then the second train could go a little further than the intersection and clogging up everything else. So we'll have to observe where this actually happens, where they stand in the middle of the intersection, and those are going to be the ones we need to change. For instance, this one here. It looks as though it is a little too long for comfort. So if we push this a little back, we might get better results. Whoa, actually that contributed a lot. I'm always confused whether or not the trains actually count towards this number. Sometimes I feel they don't, and sometimes I feel they do, but good traffic again. Let's now do the highway, as I said. It is not important yet how we're gonna do it. All we need to know is where are we gonna join up with the district, and I would say maybe we can also make a connection here. So probably this place is gonna be advantageous for a intersection. I'm just gonna cross over here, do the same thing in the other direction. Then maybe for shits and giggles we could tunnel through here. Not sure that makes sense. Okay, never mind. It actually created a tunnel for us. Now I need to figure out a way to connect the other part. Come on, do me the favor. Yeah, Gotta love rough building. This must be so triggering for some of you. But playing this save game for so long already, I know how to save myself some time, because either you do it perfect right away or you just do it roughly and then have to go over it anyways. Should I make a thumbnail with that? Time to cross this small lake I made here, and it looks as though, yeah, it's gonna be a little harder than I thought. And then right here we want to swap everything up to accommodate a small interchange. Yeah, and we probably don't want to use that one. I think I'm just gonna do my random thing. So eventually let's imagine this road is just gonna continue like so, and like so. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I'm gonna try to make this already a bit nicer from the get-go. No way, this is way too unrealistic. We gotta lower the terrain a bit. Just flatten it out a little bit here, and then, yeah, we don't have to go down as steeply. I'm really not in the mood today. I'm gonna do this another time. We are just gonna make sure it is functional. People can enter the district and they can leave it at this point going out there. They should also be able to enter the district from the other side, so I guess we're just gonna hook that up. Yeah, I know that it's not gonna work well, but we don't have a lot of traffic here. Most of the cars that are incoming, I'm so sorry for the camera, but the frame rate. Anyways, most of the people incoming use the other interchange. And actually, yeah, for simplicity's sake, we are just gonna swap this around, and then once we get to the detailing and I have the patience for this again, we'll make sure this more functional and nicer looking. And I just totally messed that up. I think as long as the trains... Yeah, look at that. They only despawn when they actually reach the end of line. So I was lucky there. For now, you guys just want to move up, over, and down. Alright then. I would say, last but not least, we are just gonna connect you guys. And then... let's swap into a 6-lane for now. This is gonna be our spot where we eventually hook up. For now, this should be working, giving us more access and flexibility to the district. By the way, we have now reached a population of over 150k, not too shabby. I think this is probably going to be half of what we have in the end, but I'm not yet sure how that's gonna work out exactly, since right now we are very close to the vehicle limit that I'm gonna have to lower down, and apparently my... yeah. Well, you look at that. We have the culprit here. Okay, so this is the intersection that is causing all of the mistakes, because one of the trains is waiting here, and they are not continuing. You can see this guy wants to enter the train station and this guy wants to exit it, and they both stand in each other's way, and this is causing the entire grid to lock up. Don't say anything else. The train grid is good right now. As soon as I get rid of these two trains, everything is gonna move again. So how can we prevent this from happening? This intersection needs to be further away from the train station. I really thought I could fit a train in here, but they actually already stop right here, so technically they only have this little bit. So let's see, yeah, that is gonna be a freaking pain in the butt. I have to move this a little further, this a little further. Okay, now I can get this node a little bit closer, and it looks as though, wow, this is one huge node that doesn't need to be huge. Okay, maybe it's gonna be the trains that are my downfall at a certain point, and not the actual water. But there we go. I'm gonna let the game run again. And now, did you see that? I think, did we actually fit a train in there? Let me see this again. Where would you stop? Could you stop here? And this would allow, yeah, look at that. This might actually fit. Oh, okay. Well, this actually worked. We can see this train now fits in here, and the other train was able to take a left turn. So this might have been the solution for my train problem that I still had. Okay, I left the game running for a bit, had to swap up a few more intersections with the trains, but it's now kind of working out. We did lose a lot of money because I was terraforming a bit, but also with the train issues we were getting into a precarious situation. The main thing, everything is moving again, and therefore we are making plus. However, we do not get rid of the import issue. Right now we're also experiencing our first death wave in this district. It does look a little bit sad, I have to say. I'm not getting in the groove today. It is just quite a few things we would have to focus on. For instance, we have a lot of oil imports, so we need more raw resources. My industry is actually fighting with that. I always have a bunch of buildings with no raw materials. So all of these buildings don't have any resources, are not producing anything, are not paying me taxes, and therefore we are also having a few issues actually delivering everything to the shops in time. This shopping district is really far away from any industrial area, and so the products have to travel quite far. My suggestion in the future would be to set up another industry in the northern region. I think by now we can also tell the pollution is probably not going away. These guys are just sick all the time. I'm actually a little bit surprised. It's just 24 people sick at any given time. Maybe we just have to add a third one of these floating garbage collectors, and that would solve our issue. Because the water around here, for instance, seems to be clean. I don't know, maybe the water is giving the pollution away into the ground, and therefore at a certain point the water will be clean. Wow, check this out. The land value here is actually really good. What is causing this land value to shoot up? Is it the elder care? I'm really surprised this doesn't have a higher land value here. You know, something I really don't do often enough is just appreciate what's going on here. Most of the cars are either police, firemen, or an ambulance. It's just absolutely beautiful. This is insane. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Just imagine you would live in a city like this. An ambulance going through every 2 seconds. Let's move across the bridge. I really like this. This is a little bit wobbly. Might want to straighten that out a bit. And then we go into the shopping district. There's a tram station over there, and then if we have a look at the parking spots, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing? Yeah, this is definitely not the best parking spot, but everything else kind of works out. I guess what we could do is push the entire stadium down 1 or 2 notches, and then the parking spots are filling up. Oh, actually looks like they are full. Not quite, but almost. Yeah, they are definitely filling up now, but this is looking differently than before. We did have more gaps previously. Okay, these guys are still not getting the goods to sell. I wonder how many cars do we have here actually utilizing the cargo station. I mainly want to see trucks going out of this and actually delivering to the district. That would be great if that actually happened once. Yeah, but it looks as though most of the trains just arrive in order to export. That is a real bummer. I wish more trucks would use this. Come on, district. I believe in you. You can do this. If we just look at this long enough, all the bad icons are gonna disappear. Okay, it is a couple of minutes later. The situation is getting better. The sick, of course, will remain, but I think the no goods issue is disappearing. And also we're slowly but surely taking care of the dead people. I think we still could do with another crematorium here. That might actually help, and maybe another one up here. Actually, that is only gonna help if we start connecting this, and that's something I want to do right away. We're gonna continue this bridge, and then somehow we're gonna hook it up. For now, I do not care how that looks. Just need to get this working. So I probably want to have another clinic here and another crematorium. I'm still a little confused about the theme because it does look the same like everything else. But if we check here, I definitely chose the European suburbia, and if I swap this up again, then everyone is gonna rebuild, so I don't really want to do that. Ah, nice, finally. The no goods issue disappeared. We have a couple too many vehicles for my comfort, and not enough people are using the public transport, but that is all issues we should address soon. Not today, because as I said, I don't really feel up to the task. And I'm not sure if this was too little content for one episode. Yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna wrap it up at this point. We reduced the problems we have in this district to the pollution. So that's the only thing that's really bothering us. The train network can still be a little bit better. So there are gonna be a couple of things that I'm gonna swap up, especially between these train stations. They're all a little bit too close together, and if they want to go back and forth between each other, we might want to set up multiple lines. But with that out of the way, let me know what you want to see. Maybe you saw something that I could improve on that would improve my situation right away. You often come with very good tips. What is my traffic to wrap this up? 81%. Perfect. Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you soon. Bye bye.